I'm Chris Wardlaw, and this is the all-new 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz. Essentially, it's an electric minivan, but it is the long-anticipated follow-up to the classic microbus, and it taps into a vein of nostalgia that no other kid hauler possibly can. Fortunately, there's plenty of substance to back up the retro styling, so let's get into the details. So even the most basic ID Buzz comes really well equipped with features. For example, in the front, you've got perforated VTEX leatherette seats. They're 12-way power adjustable for the driver and the front passenger. They're heated and they're ventilated, and the steering wheel is also heated. This thing is ready for cold weather. Volkswagen also provides a hands-free sliding side door on the ID Buzz. Just don't do that when you're standing on the ice. That opens to reveal a very roomy second row seat. And you can see there's plenty of room here. I can slide this seat all the way up to here and I'm still comfortable. Now this model's got captain's chairs in it. A bench seat is standard. Now if you want to get in the third row seat, that pops open like that and it's real easy to climb in. Now, thanks to the tip and slide second row seat, it's real easy to get in and out through the sliding side door. And once I'm back here, even though this seat is pushed forward right now, when it's in its rearmost position, there's still plenty of room back here for me. This will easily carry 6 large adults in comfort. And then around back, you've got plenty of cargo space with another hands-free opening door. So unlike a typical minivan, which has a deep well behind the third row seat, you don't get that in the ID Buzz. That's because of the battery pack and the electric motor in the back. So instead, what Volkswagen does is it provides this load floor here called the flex board with some storage containers underneath it. That way, when you fold the third row seats down, you've got a flat load floor. Behind the third row seat, you get 18.6 cubic feet. Fold the third row seats down and you've got 75.5 cubic feet, which is a significant amount of space. In addition to that, you can also fold the second row seats down and the maximum cargo volume is 145.5 cubic feet, which is more than a Chevy Suburban. Okay, we are in San Francisco driving the new ID Buzz, and the first thing that is immediately noticeable about driving this vehicle, which is a sizable 3-row minivan, is that the view out is expansive. Seeing out is no problem with a single exception, and the exception is that this roof extends out pretty far. So if you're trying to see an overhead traffic light, that's a little challenging. It can be a little bit difficult to judge where the front corners are because it looks like they're immediate, but they actually are not. They're a little bit further forward. There are front parking sensors to assist with that. So far, it drives very much like an electric vehicle, which means it's got immediate acceleration right off the line. It feels kind of heavy with a lot of the weight down low. It's got kind of a firm ride. All right, let's talk about the different powertrains that are available in the ID Buzz. Standard is a single motor electric drive system using a 91 kilowatt hour battery pack connected to a rear mounted electric motor. So it's very much like the original microbuses, except of course it's electricity juiced and not an air-cooled internal combustion engine. Horsepower rating's 282, torque 413 pound-feet. Volkswagen estimates 0 to 60 in about 7.4 seconds, and the range is 234 miles. Now, you can get Volkswagen's 4Motion all-wheel drive in the ID Buzz. That adds a 99 pound-foot of torque front electric motor, bumps the total horsepower to 335 horses, and drops the 0 to 60 time to 6 seconds flat. So we're on the 101 freeway just north of the Golden Gate Bridge. I had a chance to really hustle the ID Buzz on some twisty roads and it handles remarkably well. It's a lot of fun to drive. The steering's nice and light and effortless. Even though it's got a regenerative braking system, I find the brake pedal very natural in terms of its feel and response. And because there's a lot of battery and electric motor weight low in the chassis, it's got a low center of gravity. So it feels like a lot of EVs do, like a slot car. Now I like the ID Buzz a lot more than a typical minivan. It's got a lot more personality, obviously. I mean, it makes you feel good to walk up to it, to get in it, and to drive it. When was the last time anybody felt that way about a minivan? Viewed through a more practical lens, the ID Buzz isn't dramatically more expensive than fully loaded minivans, and its price range overlaps with the 3-row Kia EV9 SUV. Also, if you don't need lots of towing capacity or ground clearance, I could see someone choosing this V-Dub instead of a full-size SUV. So, what's the verdict here? Despite the electric-only drivetrain and the somewhat low driving range estimates, I don't think Volkswagen is going to have any trouble selling the ID Buzz. Best of all, this is the first Volkswagen designed and engineered van I've ever driven that can, accelerate, which means you will not have to get one of those apologetic bumper stickers and slap it on the back end.